Hey Bryce, how's it going?
You almost lost it there.
I did almost lose it there. I was coming out of a yawn, so I was like, finish it up.
No, it's going fairly well. Just to let people know, it is still dreary outside because we have not stopped because we're addicted. This is our heroin. We just can't help ourselves.
Or we'll peel the curtain back a little bit and say that we record 2 of these episodes on a day. So that we have more content coming at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, plus life is hectic and who knows what'll happen.
Yes.
So, alright. So last time we were talking about the nice lovely teen questions and we had mentioned the weird but true facts.
Yes.
So, come on. Hit us with these lovely, weird but true facts so that we can dissect them to the point where they're no longer strange.
Mm-hmm. Some of these are a little... if you think about it, it kind of only made sense to you. Like the starting one on this website I found, which is called FactsD, like FACTSD.com/weird facts, in case people want to follow these along. Choosing exciting places for a first date increases the chances of the other person falling for you. I feel like that's just should be a duh statement.
It kind of is because it's fairly simple. If you have a boring date and you're not memorable, then why would they be interested in you? If you have a what?
Sorry, I was gonna say conversely, don't make your date so odd that it scares the person off.
Yeah, you have to have it be exciting so that they're not bored, but it can't be too odd and out there to where they're like getting scared and running away.
Yeah, I'm thinking an example would be like if you're super into like improv comedy and you are part of a troupe, like an improv troupe, a exciting date would be to go see your troupe perform. Mm-hmm. And a creepy date would be if you invited your first date to perform with you. Like, that would be too much.
Yeah, like, to me, it would be, if you're really into improv comedy, just go to a show. Like, maybe not even for, like, your troupe, just to a show. And then, because it's something you like, it's kind of interesting, but it's not, like, love me and all of my things.
Yeah.
So...
It would definitely take on a, like, you have to be this crazy to ride this ride.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it all out there. Like, I'm not gonna lie. My boyfriend and I, our first date was dinner and a movie. So
it's a classic.
It's a classic. Like, most people are like, oh, don't do dinner and a movie anymore. You can't actually do anything. And I was like,
You could talk. You have dinner, so you can talk and get to know each other better. And then you have movie, which is a shared experience, which can either be, depending on the movie, if you do a good selection, can either be really good or really bad, or
either
meh.
way, you got somebody to talk about.
Yes.
Like,
the only ones you really have to worry about are the meh.
Yeah.
Because if it's really bad, then you have something to talk about and rag on. If it's really good, then you have something really great to talk about.
And you can figure out, like, how... It's weird because you can figure out, like, say, like, you liked the movie but the other person didn't. Like, that's showing you some compromise skills. Like, if the date that you're on is like, no, but it was terrible and you have to agree with me that it was terrible, as opposed to like, oh yeah, I could see your point but I didn't like it, like that tells you right away like how much respect you're gonna get out of this person. We went to go see Suicide Squad, so not a absolute bomb but not the best movie in the world, but we did have a lot to talk about afterwards, so
we should know we've talked about it
on like 3 episodes, I think.
So
there's something there.
There's definitely something there to talk about.
You'd think that we actually liked it with the amount of stuff that we talk about it.
Or absolutely hated it. Because that's one of the 2 reasons why you would talk about something so much. Is either you absolutely hate it, and so you're very passionate about sharing your hate with other people, or you absolutely love it, and then you want to share your love with other people.
Which, shout out to the one person that I want to say is, like, our first, like, follower, because Joaquin follows us on Facebook, comments on our YouTube stuff, so I want to go out and say that, like, you're number one, dude. At least in my book. And since I'm writing the book, that's the one that matters.
History only tells what the winners wanted to. And this is our history. So you're number one.
He recommended Gotham City Sirens as a good Harley Ivy comic graphic novel. I still haven't read it yet. I need to stop by my local comic book store that I play D&D at. I need to just talk to the guy there and have him order it for me. But I just wanted to say thanks a lot. I'm totally going to read that. I'm not sure I'm going to be okay with the idea of them being a couple, but only because I see it more as friendship in my mind. But maybe the comic book can persuade me. Who knows?
Well, I mean, different. One of the things I
read fan fiction. I can be persuaded to ship pretty much anything.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to mention. Like with fan fiction and comics and everything else, it's different circumstances breed different results, and so you may have in the one storyline it comes out as friendship, another storyline it comes out as romance. It's just how things go. And so,
as long as it's not exploitative lady kissing, I'll be okay. Like, I don't want to just see a whole bunch of like ladies kissing because my favorite...
Because ladies kissing.
Yeah. Because the presumed straight male eye wants to see that. And I say it that way. I love that soundbite that's from a feminist on YouTube called Feminist Frequency, and she talks about the tropes in video games, specifically the ones that are women, like damsel in distress and so on and so forth. And she probably didn't coin this phrase, but it's the first place I heard it, so I'm going to say that she talks about the presumed straight male in video games, i.e. that the person who's buying the video games is first male and then straight, so that they create scenarios that it is presumed a straight male would want to see. And as long as it's not that, as long as it's not just like ladies kissing, because obviously dudes love seeing ladies kiss. Which, nope. I'm gonna pull the emergency brake on that tangent. But anyway.
We're gonna stop this train right here. We're gonna change tracks.
Sorry about the inconvenience, folks. We'll have you guys into your stations by dinner time. Anyway, This is the next one that I understand it. I actually knew this beforehand, but the way that it's phrased just makes me... I'll tell you, and then I'll tell you the scenario, and then in my head that I think... Like, okay. Handshakes were originally meant to make sure that the person you were meeting wasn't carrying a concealed weapon. The hand clasp proved that your hand was empty, and shaking was meant to dislodge any weapons hiding up the sleeve. I knew that. I knew that that's the reason, like, the same reason why...
Like, are they talking about, like, that two-handed thing, where it's, like, the handshake and then you do it on the outside and does this? Because if not, there's an entire other hand you're not checking.
Well, yeah. Presumably. Okay. But in my head, can I tell you, I saw some, like, magician, like, tuxedoed magician, that you grab his hand, shake it, and as you're shaking it, like, a bunny, scarves, like... a rubber chicken, like, a whole bunch of stuff is just, like, falling out of his sleeve. I was like, what do you think I'm keeping up my sleeve? I don't know.
Excuse me, do you not... I keep everything up my sleeves.
Do you?
I do, because I'm always prepared. See, I have throwing stars. I have daggers. I have smoke bombs. I have flashbangs. I have... syringes filled with sedatives and or poison.
Why have you never played a rogue in D&D before?
Because we've actually touched on this on the last time, is I'm more of I like that upfront fighting. Don't get me wrong. I can definitely, like in the Monday night game, like with the character Nathaniel, like, some of the times that he goes into trying to persuade someone, I will then proceed the next day to tell the person playing it what he could have done better to persuade them. And so I can definitely play, like, a rogue or a sorcerer that is pure, like, based on charm, and so that they can just, like, get whatever they want. I can do that. I hide the fact that I know I can figure out people so well and dissect them, and tell you all the things that you need and want to hear to get what I want.
He also hides the fact that he actually dissects people.
Why do you have to tell people that? I'm not denying it.
It won't happen to me.
I'm not denying it. It's just, why did you have to ruin tonight's fun?
It's just a typical Friday night.
It is the typical Friday night. I had the next person picked out. They're waiting for me.
Oh, that's
Don't get
not
me wrong.
The kind of exciting first date that we were talking about, Bryce.
Well, it's a good thing we're not dating, isn't it? See, don't. I'm not dating this person either. Their name is Tommy.
Obviously not. Otherwise, they tie you to the session. Sorry, those were not really words. Those were just laughing. Okay.
Oh, yes. So I could definitely do it, but it's I don't know. I guess I try not to let my evil mastermind nature take over. I'd like to try to be more honest and upfront and not let the evil within me take over. Because it tries to so often. Even when I don't notice it.
This next fact kind of relates to something that happened on Monday night's game, actually. The boomslang snake's venom causes you to bleed from all holes of your body. And I say that because these are the kind of facts that I keep lodged in my brain so that I know how to kill characters in my writing and such. And then when you say them out loud, people are like, how do you know that? Like on Monday night when you were trying to tie a person who was already tied up so that you could switch the ropes. And I was like, if you do that, it's like if you try to bury someone alive, all they have to do is make themselves wider. And the look that people gave me was like, how do you know this? It's like, well, obviously I don't go burying people alive. But I have read a thing or two about a thing or two because I have to know how to play it out in my scenarios and my writing.
See, people just don't understand that sometimes you just have to prepare for worst case possibility.
Yeah.
Or in case you try to take over the world. Either one.
That or I'm the real life version of that kid in Jerry Maguire who just like spouts out random facts in the backseat of your car. The human head weighs 8 pounds. You've never seen Jerry Maguire. Someone out there is laughing at this.
First off, I have not.
Is laughing their ass off.
All I'm thinking is that is an incredible waste of knowledge that kid is misusing for just spouting out random facts. The things that he could do with that. Think of all the things that he knows. And think of how he can use them for either good or evil. Preferably evil. Because what fun is good? But that just seems terrible. Bleeding from all of the holes in your body. Oh my god. You have holes in
every place of your body, so I can't imagine. Like, technically, your skin pores are holes. So I don't know if that means, like, that you would bleed from both your tear ducts and your nose and your mouth and your ears, or if it would mean that you would literally bleed from your very skin. So either way, it would be gross and horrifying, which is a perfect way to murder somebody.
Yeah.
Because
it would definitely send a statement.
Yeah, exactly.
Send a statement.
You know what?
So
I would not use it to murder the person that I intended to murder. I would do it to somebody who was close to that person so that I could send that statement, get them scared, and then come around and murder them.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Because what's better than seeing the fear in their eyes as you slowly watch the life drain from them?
I believe that we have had this conversation before, but I will have this conversation on podcast land just because I feel that everybody should consider this in their own life and decide. I think there would be less violence if people knew this about themselves. I know that I could only get away with one murder. Period. And that is assuming that the body is never found. Because then it can't technically be murder if there's no body. It's just the person is gone, right? So I've thought about ways of making sure that body would never be discovered. But if it was, I still feel like I could get a jury to believe that I'm innocent. Because it's not that you have to be innocent, it's just you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt that I might not have done this thing. Right? So I think that I could probably get away with that once, but I could never get away with it again. I could maybe get away with 2 murders if the first body was never found. But if the first body was found and I went to court, then there was no way that someone would be like, you were also trying for murder for this other random thing. I'd be like, what? No, I wasn't. I'd be like, no. But that reason, as like kind of funny, kind of weird as it is why a lot of people are just not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not worth it. So I say that, like, if I was going to murder someone, I would want them to be afraid. Because it means that I have not only considered it, but I have weighed my options and decided that this particular person is worth jail.
That is... Wow.
Yeah. There's only one person in my life who has ever come close, but I could never get away with their murder. Too close. Too close to the subject. Automatically people would think it was me. So...
See, that's why you have to cover it up. You have to first start out by becoming a serial killer to people that are in their general size and physical description. Therefore, when you start going from like a certain place up north and you start moving down, and then you just do it over like a year or two.
No, because as soon as you set up patterns, people know where you're going to go. And the problem with serial killing is that you always set up patterns because the human brain likes patterns. We like things to make sense. That's why serial killers, for the most part, get caught. But granted, there aren't as many serial killers out there in the world as TV would let us believe.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I have a fascination with them. I'm actually listening to a podcast right now about crime and serial killing called Criminal. So, I've watched a lot of documentaries about serial killers and stuff.
I could do it though.
See, even if you tried really hard to make it seem random, it wouldn't be. Because there would be some equation there in the back of your mind that you've set up these patterns, and it would still be trackable, traceable, in some way. Somebody would find it. Because
you would have to create a system that made it up by chance.
You would.
Like throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. In my head, I'm thinking that I could create a character that would conceivably be able to weigh the newtons that it takes for the dart to hit the board, and that by be able to tell the size and shape of the person who is throwing the dart, and thereby would be able to come up with a way for how you were choosing your victims. But in a fictional world, I can create that, and it sounds good because I use the word Newton, so it must be true because it was science-y.
Science. Everything boils down to science.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Speaking of science, this is what I love. The butterflies you get in your stomach when you see someone you like is actually a stress response caused by adrenaline. As a fangirl, I understand this because I feel it so hard. So your body gets a spike in adrenaline and that's why you get butterflies in your stomach.
I just love the fact that it's a stress response. That's how it's literally put out. A stress response. The thing that we use as an indicator of us being attracted to another person is a stress indicator.
Oh, yup. That's how it works.
That's not... That is... Ooh. I think that says something. I don't know what, but it says something. Alright.
Okay.
What's next?
This one will either blow your mind or make no sense. You are never actually touching anything.
Oh, yeah.
Your electrons repel objects when they are 10 to the power of -8 meters away from you. But you can feel the force of resistance, so you're technically hovering.
See, I understand that. That did not blow my mind because I've actually Already heard that before.
Oh.
So it's one of those things of, yes, when I first heard it, that did kind of blow my mind, of just thinking that I am never actually touching anything. I am never actually walking on anything. It is literally just the force pressed back against me from trying to touch them.
See, that just bothers me so much. Because my brain, the way that my brain works, it always goes to, like, the, like, melancholy side of things first. So I'm like, that means we have no effect on each other? I don't like that thought.
No, we do, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Therefore, the force applied to you is also applied to the object that you are touching. So whereas you may not actually touch them, you are still creating a force against it. So truthfully, if you wanted to go even deeper than that, you could say, instead of it being a physical thing, it is literally the very energy of your body, which could be described as your soul, that is touching another person instead of your actual physical self.
Aww, you made it better.
See, everything can be made better if you think about it long enough.
It's true. It's better than the opposite, where everything can be worse.
Yeah, see? And I could definitely make it worse. But I choose to think of it that way. Because it's nicer. Mm-hmm. Sunshine and rainbows and unicorns.
Teeth are the only part of your human body that can't repair itself.
That kind of sucks. Kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, they're a bone.
Yeah.
But if they break, they don't grow back. They don't re-heal.
Again, that kind of sucks. It's one of those things of, like, out of all the things that our body does to try and keep us alive, it can't give us new teeth to eat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flaws in the human body.
But it also makes sense as to why you see in, like, old-timey stuff when there's, like, in like, Conan the Barbarian style, like, fantasies or whatever, when there's, like, a slave trade, and the first thing they do is, like, show me your teeth. It's like, I was a kid, I was like, teeth? What are you going to do with teeth? But, you know, it proved that you were healthy. Mm-hmm. Because you still had them all. This one I actually knew. The sound you hear when you put a seashell next to your ear is not the ocean, but the blood flowing through your brain. So it's...
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm. So, like, if you had put a shell... It's not... You're not hearing, like, air go through the shell. What you're hearing is the, like... It's basically, like, the amplifier for the blood flow that's going through your brain. That's what you're hearing. I blew his mind, Internet.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Just...
Which means that we all have a little bit of ocean in us.
I mean, I get it. I do. But, wow. That's just... I'm never picking up a seashell again. I really don't want to hear the blood rushing through my brain.
This does not sound real. I would need somebody to do some research on this. Motorola has developed an edible password pill, which once digested is activated by the acid in your stomach, emitting an 18-bit signal, which is strong enough to communicate and unlock all your devices. It's also FDA approved. That's some, like, James Bond stuff right there. Yeah. That just makes me think that, like...
That also makes me feel exceptionally worried. Because it's one of those things of, yes, that seems really cool. Okay, it's only key to yourself, but it's technology. And people are going to get smarter. And you're going to tell me that...
Yeah.
I want to put that in my body so that somebody could potentially hack that? Nope.
See, I saw the other way around. I thought it was like, here, Mr. Bond, when you get close enough, swallow this, and within X number of hours, when you get close enough to the Baron's devices, it will unlock everything, and your phone will automatically be able to download it all. Like, I thought it was one of those. Like, you could use it to, like, hack into things. But I can't believe that that's a real thing that somebody developed.
Well, Time Magazine apparently put out an article for Motorola is working on a password pill for once daily authentication.
Oh,
and a tattoo, too.
See, I could see the tattoo.
I guess, yeah, barcodes.
Like, my new phone, it's a Google Pixel, and it has a fingerprint scanner on the back.
Yeah.
And so I scanned both of my index fingers so that, depending on what hand I'm holding my phone in, I can automatically turn my phone on. So I could see, like, being able to, like, take a picture of a tattoo, like a QR code or something, and, you know, scan that and be able to get into your thing. Although I feel like that's no more or less safe than anything else. Because if someone wanted to hack, like if someone wanted to hack into mine, they would either, you can still do this, my swipe, but they could just take my finger pad and hack. Or if I had a QR code, they could just take that tattoo and hack. Like, if someone could like, because then if you, let's say you have this again, the writer in me creates these scenarios. You're like, you're a spy, you're trying to hack into this person's phone because you have an app on your phone that once you get it on, you can basically copy everything in their phone into your phone. But they have like a tattoo. All you have to do is get a selfie with that person and get the right picture, and then suddenly you have that. Like, so there's no 100% way to save your data.
Yeah. Okay.
And with the government selling our right to privacy on the internet now, yeah.
What about that?
So Congress repealed a privacy law, internet privacy laws, that condemned providers from selling your browser history. So they can now do so. And people are worried not only about the ramifications of that, but the ramifications of net neutrality and that kind of thing. So there are a lot of GoFundMe pages that are raising money to buy congressmen's browser history who repealed this. Because, yeah.
I would get behind that.
Uh-huh.
Let's see their dirty little secrets thrown up all over the interwebs. But honestly, I want that to happen, and yet at the same time, I don't want to know what dirty little things they do.
That's it. Like I mean, the joke in that is, you know, the things that people look at on the internet and buying and selling that information. The truth of the matter is, what people would actually buy and sell is your analytics of what you buy.
Yeah.
What you look at, what you buy, so they can sell you stuff. But as we're seeing with Google's smart searches, where you're only shown things based on the previous things that you've looked at, the idea of you only showing me products based on things that I've already purchased is not good for anyone, you know?
Because there are plenty of things that I have not bought before that I would be willing to buy. Because I'm a nerd. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that just because I have never bought like a, you know, fake sword before, that I'm not going to buy one in the future?
Right.
And you're not going to ever suggest that to me? Come on, people, think about it. Yeah. Okay, what's next? Let's get off of, you know, government is trying to infringe upon our privacy.
There are lone planets that roam endlessly through space without ever going into orbit. They are actually predicted to be more common than stars. So I guess if a planet had enough gravity to repel a sun's gravity so it would not get caught in orbit, but would be pulled to the next solar system. I just don't know how how astronomers would see that. But I like the idea of, like I said in the last episode, like an organic spaceship.
Like, I can only assume that it's just, like, as astronomers would be watching a certain section of the universe or galaxy or whatever, that all of a sudden there's just this planet that, you know, kind of comes out of nowhere, and they see it enter this gravitational field there, and they're like, oh, okay, it's going to go into orbit, and then all of a sudden it just doesn't, and goes away. And they're like, oh, okay, that's strange. So, planets flying through the sky without a care in the world. Now that's freedom.
Yeah.
Who needs gravitational pull against others? Not me. 'Cause I'm a wild planet. Roaming the free space skies.
Rebel planet without a cause.
Yep. what lovely weird fact do we have next?
I'm trying to find... Some of these are just grossing me out and I don't want to read them, so give me a sec. Dogs have eureka moments and enjoy the experience of solving a problem to obtain a reward.
Huh.
Oh, I like that idea. I mean, my dogs are always too dumb, but I like that idea.
That is kind of cool to think your dog is just, it's loving life, loving figuring out things.
When a bald eagle loses a feather, it will automatically shed the same feather on its other side to maintain balance.
That's cool. Like, I have now become inefficient. This problem must be rectified. Problem solved.
There is a slug that can borrow DNA from algae it eats, given it the temporary ability to perform photosynthesis. It is the only known animal to do so. So basically, slugs can eat plants and then convert energy the same way that plants do. That's craziness. That makes a lot of sense.
That's fantastic.
That's super cool.
Like,
wouldn't it be cool if we could just perform photosynthesis?
Why don't we get these cool things? Just
because we have opposable thumbs.
So, the logic is you can now pick up things with your hands, and therefore you don't get anything else. Like, nope, you get to pick things up, while other ones get to have venom that can make people bleed from holes. And be able to perform photosynthesis, but we get opposable thumbs.
Yep. Well, it has gotten us technology to record this podcast, so I guess it's not.
It has its uses. Has its uses. Yes, I will admit that, but honestly.
Oh, here's another one. I didn't know this. I thought that it was due to osmosis. However, fingers prune underwater, not because of them absorbing water or washing away of oil, but because of the evolutionary trait caused by the brain to enhance the grip of your fingers underwater. I always thought it was osmosis, like the water is actually leaving your fingers to reach equilibrium with the water that you're submerged in. But I like the idea that it is so that you can have more grip in slippery situations.
That is... Alright, fine. Fine, human body. You do have some cool things.
See?
I will admit that. You have a lot of issues. Like giving men a reset button. Or having a nice straight line down our backs of literally just one shot, we're done. But... Alright, I'll give you that one.
It is illegal for a teacher to keep the class after the bell as punishment. It violates the Geneva Convention's laws on collective punishment. I feel like that's taking a thing that's really complicated and simplifying it down to the common denominator. Because I'm pretty sure the Geneva Convention didn't get together to think about... Yeah. And I didn't like that my math teacher kept us all after class one day. Yeah. So I'm gonna write... I'm pretty sure it more has to do with, not punishing all of your prisoners of war or something. I don't really know.
I really think that's just...
I feel like that's a misinterpretation of a fact.
Yeah, well, it's interpreting a fact to be used for something that is not at all what the fact was meant to be used for. Mm-hmm. Just, they did not make it for the classroom. I get it. I get that it's so that you don't punish a group for the failings of, a part of it. But really, you gotta go to the Geneva Convention.
Right.
To try and justify your teacher not keeping you at... why the teacher shouldn't keep you out of class. Don't get me wrong. Kudos to this kid who tried to, use the Geneva Convention. to get out of trouble. But
I would, as my mom was a teacher for 10 years, I would like some smart-ass kid to be like, you can't do this, it violates the Geneva Convention. Because I could just see my mom turning to them straight-faced and be like, is the Geneva Convention here right now? No. Sit down. Oh! This justifies our entire existence, Bryce. Talking to yourself actually makes you smarter. Yes!
Mine's not working.
It is.
It's not working. I talk to myself all the time. I mean,
which means you're smarter.
I am. It has not helped increase my intelligence in any way, shape, or form. Therefore, something is not quite right. I want to speak to the technician of this fair body, because whoever made it put some flaws in it. And I don't care about most of them, but that one seems like something really useful for something that I do most of the time. Killing me, Smalls.
The right ear is better at hearing speech, and the left ear is better at hearing music.
Huh.
I know. I'd be like,
Is that why sometimes when you listen through headphones, it always sounds off?
I don't know.
Because sometimes I'll catch that where it sounds like only certain things are coming through one side.
I know that you can balance stuff to only come out of one side.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's a comprehension of your brain that it is easier to.
No, that's fine. My head's... I feel like the electrician who made up my brain just did a very poor job. Like, they put all the wires together, and they made them all the same color. And so right at the end, he had to do a quick job of just finishing up. And he just started plugging things in. And he didn't know what they went to, because he didn't label them, and they're all the same color. And so some things just got a little mixed up.
Ooh. Okay. 1, fake smiling causes real happiness. I have done that before.
Understandable.
I have smiled until that fake it till you make it. I have smiled until I was actually happy. And 2, there is a Buddhist temple in Thailand constructed of an estimated 1.5 million beer bottles. Yes, please.
I'm sorry. Please repeat. My brain couldn't comprehend that. Let's try another go.
Okay. So there's a Buddhist temple.
Uh-huh.
In Thailand.
In Thailand.
That is constructed.
Mm-hmm.
In which here means built out of.
I understand that.
An estimated 1.5 million of beer bottles.
A Buddhist temple?
I mean, what's more chill than beer?
Damn. I guess I need to be a monk.
Only the Shaolin kind get to fight, though. You have to be an actual pacifist monk.
Oh.
Alright. Last fact for you. In 2006, scientists found the oldest living creature on the planet. A 507-year-old clam. But they killed it while opening it up to determine its age. Which I feel is just like a metaphor for humanity sometimes. Like, we just need to know all the things that we're more than happy to just run roughshod over. I know. Yeah,
it's one of those things of, like, I kind of understand the curiosity and everything, but it's kind of sad that, like, in the pursuit of finding out oh my god, it must have been around for so long. How old is it? And so they attempt to find out, and then they kill it.
You can like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Find us on Facebook at Ancient B, ANCIENT, capital B, or talk to us on Twitter at Ancient B. with 3 E's, because that's how many we had to add to get a new username. I'm Heather, and you can find me all over the internet at The Fae Lady. It's TheFaelady.
And you can find me connected to the H&B page on Facebook under Bryce Furman, completely unoriginal. And you can also find me on Twitter as BFizzman, BFizzman. If you'd like to bring us your own little weird, quirky facts,
please,
for us to discuss and or be terrified or mind blown about, please feel free to share.
And I'll put the link of the website that I went to in the description so that everybody can check it out. There's a lot more lists there. I was kind of bouncing around between a couple of them, but it was all on the same website, so you can find them there.
All right. Well, I think we are done here for the day.
Yeah.